BlackRock, the insidious investment firm controlling the world. Have you heard of BlackRock? This investment firm is so powerful that they have infiltrated the US government and control the global economy. But are they really a force for good or just another corporate giant? In this video, we will explore the controversial practices of BlackRock and their impact on society. The housing market in the US and UK is facing major challenges. In the US, 70% of people who want to buy a home can no longer afford to do so, while home affordability in the UK is at its lowest point since the 19th century. The problem has been exacerbated by the fact that house prices have doubled relative to inflation over the past 2 generations, while wages have stagnated below the inflation line. Additionally, mortgage rates have recently climbed significantly, pushing home ownership further out of reach. For those who don't own homes, skyrocketing rents are squeezing them for every penny they have, with rent increases expected to rise by over 8% this year on average. In major cities like San Francisco and London, people are paying exorbitant prices to rent tiny spaces, such as beds in dorm rooms and cupboards under the stairs. These problems aren't just the result of historical trends and generational economic pressures, though. A small group of companies, including Vanguard, Blackstone, the UBS Group, and BlackRock, has made the situation measurably worse. By buying up $60 billion worth of the housing market, these trillion-dollar companies have brought the entire system to the brink of collapse. They've done this by getting deeply involved in the single-family homes market, using their immense purchasing power to price out regular people with ease. Nearly a quarter of homes put on the market in 2022 weren't bought by families that needed them, but instead were bought by institutional investors. This is nearly double what it was just last year, and is a significant change from 15 years ago, when Wall Street stayed entirely separate from the housing market. However, the financial crisis of 2008 changed everything. When banks' beloved mortgage bonds dropped sharply in value, the banks were left in crisis, leading to one of the biggest economic crashes in modern history. Wall Street saw an opportunity and started getting into the housing market. Some companies, like BlackRock, oversaw massive amounts of money and assets left behind by the crisis, while other companies bought homes outright, taking advantage of the massive amount of foreclosures. This flood of Wall Street money went into buying over 200,000 foreclosed homes within 6 years, and a new financial industry sprung up overnight. While these investments were discounted at first, the bounce back in house prices made them incredibly profitable. These homes could also be used as equity to secure loans, allowing companies to gain millions more to invest in whatever they wanted, often leading to the purchase of more single-family homes. However, these companies were terrible landlords, and the victims of the crash were often left paying rent on houses they used to own. These financial companies cut their costs by firing support staff, increasing rents by predatory amounts, and pushing more responsibilities onto renters. In many cases, renters were responsible for things that used to be the landlord's responsibility, like repairs and renovations. This shift of capital from regular working people to Wall Street millionaires and billionaires has continued to this day, with single entities gaining massive influence on housing markets in any given area, allowing them to easily jack up rental costs. The story hasn't changed much, and these problems persist to this day. Today, the housing market has shifted into the hands of premier firms such as Blackstone and Invitation Homes, who are buying up foreclosed properties and managing assets tied up in single-family homes. In 2021, Blackstone signed a $6 billion deal to acquire Home Partners of America, which owns over 17,000 homes. Invitation Homes, on the other hand, owns over 80,000 homes, making them the largest company still dealing in single-family homes. Interestingly, BlackRock and Vanguard have the biggest ownership stakes in these companies, despite BlackRock's announcement that they aren't involved in the single-family home business. BlackRock even bought a further $7.3 million worth of shares at the end of 2022. However, various news articles, including one by Vox titled "Wall Street Isn't to Blame for the Housing Market Chaos," absolve BlackRock of any wrongdoing, while ignoring their public investments in the industry. This may be because the largest shareholder in Vox is NBC Universal, which is owned by Comcast, the 2 largest shareholders of which are Vanguard and BlackRock. Similarly, The Atlantic, published by Atlantic Media, which is mostly owned by Laurene Powell Jobs, who worked at investment banks earlier in her career, has also published articles defending BlackRock. The reason for this may be that Vanguard and BlackRock's combined shares in Comcast are worth around $25 billion. Apart from buying out people's homes, BlackRock has an unimaginably huge portfolio of investments. In 2022, nearly a quarter of the homes put on the market were bought by institutional investors, which is almost double the number from the previous year. This is all happening as one of the most advanced mathematical models in the world predicts a 98% chance of recession, causing major stock losses and leaving investors asking why their portfolios are still getting wiped out. Goldman Sachs recommends investing in real assets such as contemporary art, which has historically appreciated more than even real estate during times of high inflation. Masterworks is a platform that allows investors to invest in contemporary art by legends such as Picasso and Banksy for a fraction of the full price, potentially earning significant returns. While some defend BlackRock's practices by stating that they are only overseeing other people's money, this criticism is cleverly misdirected. BlackRock is an incredibly powerful entity in the world of finance, with the vast majority of its assets managed on behalf of other institutions and insurance companies. Only a small percentage of its assets come from regular people and small businesses. BlackRock's success can largely be attributed to its computer software, Aladdin, which has been developed over 25 years to predict the future of the stock markets and identify profitable investments. Aladdin is incredibly accurate and was trusted to manage over $21 trillion in 2020 alone. BlackRock's influence extends beyond just finance, with Larry Fink, the founder and CEO of the company, regularly interacting with world leaders and attending G20 meetings. BlackRock also has significant influence over the U.S. government, with former executives holding powerful government positions. Despite not technically owning the companies in which it invests, BlackRock still has significant control and influence over their decisions, thanks to its large shareholdings and voting power. The U.S. government is heavily populated with ex-BlackRock employees, leading many to view the government as just another one of BlackRock's investments. This allows BlackRock to maintain its immense power and keep the status quo in check. BlackRock may be here to stay, but as people become more aware of their tactics, there may be hope for change. Let's continue to question the actions of the world's most powerful institutions and work towards a more just and equitable society. Thanks for watching.